Hey there. We just went outside and tried to start the car and there was nothing. Not even an attempt for the car to start. Even the console wouldn't light up, so we figured, uh-oh. We've been having some really cold weather here in Canada. -20 is frequent for like a string of days. I thought, oh, worst case scenario, maybe an animal went up and nested in the car engine compartment, maybe chewed some wires. But I actually investigated the battery, and I see that there's a little bit of corrosion on the positive stem here, and you can see that's likely just an indication that the battery is probably 4 or 5 years old. And rather than clean it up, and I was going to actually try and charge it and test the battery, I think with corrosion like that, it's an indication that the battery is old and it just needs to be replaced. So, so I'll go through what it took to take it out when I get a new battery and put it back in. Okay, here we are outside. I got the new battery. I had to actually make sure that it was compatible with my vehicle. You'll have to do the same thing if this ever happens to you. What I got here now is just a little solution of baking soda and water, and because it's freezing, I'm trying not to use too much. I don't want a lot of water to freeze on the terminal or the connections and create a barrier for the charge, obviously. But I do have to get in and clean up this. I don't know if you can see that with the camera, but there's the blue corrosion in there. So I'm gonna have to just clean that up with this baking soda solution. And what it does is it neutralizes the battery acid, and that's why I'm actually wearing these gloves, because there's battery acid. So I'll just do that quickly and make sure both terminals are clean and wipe up in and around here. It looks like maybe the acid also went down there. Ooh, that's cold. I think it's like minus 10 or 11 today. Okay, it comes off easily. I'll wipe this off in stages. All right, with those both clean, I'm just gonna wipe down in here. It looks like there was probably acid or something that leaked out of the battery. It's just liquid and it didn't freeze, even though we have these freezing cold temperatures. All right, here we have the replacement battery for this vehicle, and it's pretty heavy, so get everything all prepared before you go to put it in. But I want to show you this. There's 2 clips on either side, and I guess they're lips. And what they do is, where the battery sits, it actually sits in, and there's another piece that I actually took right out, so I didn't have to fight with this heavy battery putting it down in. And I'll just screw it down and secure everything, so the battery isn't going to move when you're driving and all that. So here it goes, sitting it down in. It's in place. You can see I have the protective guards on still. I don't want anything to cross and touch as I'm installing this. So that's in that spot. Screw this in. Now it's kind of tight, so I'll probably have to use my socket set, take it apart and start that manually. Okay, that's as tight as I can get by hand, so I'm just going to put this socket down in there and tighten it up. Okay, now with that all snug and everything's in place, I'm just going to put the positive on first. You always do the positive before the negative. Just open this, put that over top, seat it down nicely, and tighten that up. I like that these modern cars have that's fixed in nice, have this cover, so when you're using or you go to connect, or let's say your wire is flailing around here, it won't accidentally touch that. So now time for the negative. Well, it works. Okay, this is the second try at this. When I first touched this to the to the battery terminal, the car horn went off, and I think that's because the door is unlocked. Maybe it's a safety feature, so let's try again. There, I just locked the car, and that goes off, thank goodness. The neighbors are probably wondering what the heck's going on. But that's also another good sign, because I wasn't absolutely positive it was the battery, and I was thinking maybe an animal might have got up in here in this cold temperatures and maybe tried to nest and shoot a wire or something. So just firm this up or snug this up. It's not going anywhere, and we're in. Everything's connected. I'm gonna just start the car and make sure everything's okay. Whew, I'm freezing. The only problem is now I have to reprogram all my radio stations.